So if any of the organization are not training on the AI machine learning, they're going to lose 30% of their overall value. And
Suresh, welcome to the podcast. I'm fascinated with your company, Avenir Digital, and the work you're doing as a thought leader in the pharma, banking, and insurance industry. It's great to have some time with you out of what I'm sure is a very busy schedule. Why don't you tell us about yourself and your company?
thank you very much, Chad, for taking time to, doing this exercise with me. I'm very fascinated to see a lot of your work as well. So it's a great pleasure talking to you. Yes, my name is Suresh. I run an IT company called Avenir Digital Inc. We are based out of US, UK, and India. We are a digital transformation company. We help organizations to get maximum of their AI and machine learning and RPA processes up and running quickly, efficiently, and under budget. The uniqueness is we have predefined use cases to get the customer their return on investment metrics quickly. A lot of our customers have saved millions of dollars and some have saved even more. We are there to help them out, and I'm very fascinated to sort out the problems of the customers. We go together and move together. So that's our mantra.
Excellent. So, talk to me about how you got started. What were your first customers like? What was that journey about building the company?
So I need to take you back to 2005. That's where we started. And we started very humbly with two consultants, me and my co-founder. Then we slowly built up this organization. We started there in UK, then we came to India, then we went to Dubai, and then we to US. So yeah, it's a very fascinating journey. We have seen web applications, mobile applications, ERP, SAPs, Oracles in 2008, financial crash and COVID, whatnot. So it's a fascinating journey that I had. Yes, and we started a long time back, and we have quite a decent sized customers. We serve top 500 Fortune companies, and startups, and middle companies. So it's overall very interesting. We are learning through the process. At the same time, we are learning what kind of challenges customers are going through, and we are finding solutions within our lab that we facilitated. The customer can come with a challenge, and we are providing them a solution to get their business to the next level. So it's a very interesting journey that I had, and I'm looking forward for the next, God knows, 10 years, 20 years, as long as I can provide the kind of things that I'm on. Fantastic.
What does your journey look like over the next 10, 15 years? How do you see your business changing? How does your go-to-market strategy change? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Brilliant. What we have done is identify there are common challenges in the business. For instance, if you talk about banking, there is KYC, anti-money laundering processes, and challenges with the fraudulent challenges, and so on and so forth. See, as an engineer, we created a shift program called a quick fix where the customer has to, customer doesn't need to invest any money, time, efforts into it. We have created the solution in place, and we will go and fix the problem instantly, and which means the customer gets the kind of a solution within 4 to 5 weeks. We only charge based on the outcome, so there is no installation of the big software buying. Anything goes sorts out as very remote. So that is a very interesting proposition that we have. That's our USP. And we have associated with quite a few organizations across the globe, like core banking solution providers, as well as other partners that we have created. So that's our go-to-market strategy directly to consumers through our partners ecosystem. We are looking at approximately 200 to 300% improvement with our support, as well as revenue strength, as well as a lot of other things. So we're looking for a decent sized growth for next 3 to 5 years. And everything goes fine. We're also thinking of going to IPO by 2033 is what we are planning at this moment. But yeah, it's a long way, but we are definitely there on the progress, and we are looking forward for this beautiful next 5 to 8 years of our journey.
I'm sure it'll go very quickly. It'll be here before you know it, and you'll have a successful IPO.
Thank you very much for that.
So you describe yourself as an RPA as a service evangelist, and that's fascinating to me. I went to your site and I saw that you displayed a physical robot there, which is interesting. I think RPA, I think software, but you're thinking in the physical and the software world. Talk to me a little bit about that.
See, the RPS is must to have tools and technologies in any organization per se. It doesn't matter whether you're running a small or the massive organization. So some of those instances where the customer feels that, okay, this is not something that can be done in work. A lot of companies have mandated. And if you can't replace with the RPAs, you're burning 30 to 40% of your skilled labor on maintaining things which are not useful for you to grow. So as an organization, as a CEO or as a CTO of the organization, your primary focus has to be how you utilize your core strength, core team to do a very big, better challenging process, a challenging work. So we have created a lot of robots which are going to be installed in their operations, either from a customer engagement point of view, either from a backend point of view, either from the middle management point of view. So those kind of
Oh,
robots are helping a lot of our customers. For instance, we have a pharma customer. They have a lot of return goods coming from a market. If we reduce the returns, they save a lot of material and they save a lot of space in the warehousing, which means they will save a lot of revenues in the material they're purchasing. So this is a simple max, but if you look at it from identifying, understanding the challenges from the market, the customer is saving 30 to 40% of their revenues on goods that are only to buy, but still they can utilize the money on revenues on R&D and other activities which are going to have value to their overall valuation. So those are the lot of things. I can give you hundreds of use cases where the customers are utilizing these RPAs. And usually that is saving money, efforts, and the value of the.
excellent. And there are they you call it RPA as a service. Is this something that you provide to the customers where you can bring in actual physical robots, I guess you would call them? Or are you also thinking more software for that?
Basically, we are more of a software side, not a physical robots.
Okay, yeah.
That is not our portrait at this moment, but more of a software
Okay, yeah.
side. And software robots are more efficient than physical robots. Physical robots are in the future. But if you look at it from the software side, there are a lot of organizations, a lot of organizations still they are not organizing their data. Their data is a very crucial. So once they have everything in place, probably they talk about physical data, physical robots. But currently we're talking about software data, software side,
Okay,
robot
excellent,
side.
excellent. So when you think of looking ahead and growing your staff, growing your company, what kind of resources, skills, or support do you think would make the biggest difference in helping your team achieve its next level of performance to get you where you want to be in 2030?
Yeah, that's a good question. Basically, the next 5 to 10 years, all those organizations across the globe would like to see 30% of their revenues go up. If not 30% on the revenues, at least 30% of the value from their staff. So if any of the organization are not training on the AI machine learning, they're going to lose 30% of their overall value. In fact, we are also in the same boat. We are revamping our strategy to onboard a lot of AI and machine learning expertise and who has more of any software engineers who has got a lot of PhD degrees from the well-established universities so that we can create a lot of value to our investors. So yeah, AI and machine learning is way to go. If you want to generate more opportunities and more revenues, that's the only option at this moment in the current scenario. So AI and machine learning slash software engineers are our main criteria.
You're focusing as much internally with AI as you are externally for your customers, it sounds like.
Yeah, we do have internal, external. We do retraining a lot of our resources to the AI side. At the same time, if the demand generated from the customer standpoint and if we want more, yes, we do have a specific mechanism to bring a lot of resources on. Because the best part is the way we normally work is we don't work on seats basis or resources basis. We work on a pods basis. What is a pod? The customer comes with a challenge. We provide the specific outcome of the service and we charge X money. So that way customer is not going to invest on the resources, is investing on outcome of the product, outcome of the services, outcome of anything that we create our SLAs or SOWs based on outcome.
That's interesting. You'd mentioned this modular based delivery model. Is that pretty much your go to market strategy now? This quick fix model for maybe certain things,
Yeah.
but do you do this for big projects as well?
So that is definitely our USP. We want to be a partner to the customer forever. If you are talking about short term or shortcut money, that's not our intention. We would like to have a long term partnership, and return on investment is when the customer gets what he's looking for, then we are asking them for example. Yes, that's our strategy. We are bringing efficiency from the AI and automation standpoint. So that means we are adding that value to our customer. At the same time, we are giving outcome results so the customer can also feel that, okay, I'm getting X amount of activity done on specific time and date. Then the customer is happy, we are happy, and he was happy.
Is that more of a revenue share model that you typically go with? Is that the general idea, or do you pick metrics up front and say, we'll hit a percentage of these metrics, and then that's the revenue model?
Yeah, so basically we do outcome based. We will define the outcome based on the number of pods that we create, and the customer will know that, okay, by end of this specific period that we do. It's not that when customer is isolated in the delivery point of view. Every day there is a specific time that we dedicate to the customer to update what is happening. It's like a agile model, if you're aware of the like software terminology. And the customer get to see the results on a day-to-day basis. And by the time we hit our milestones, the customer knows what is being delivered and will get to pay for that specific outcome.
That's excellent, especially in a world where technology is changing very quickly and there are so many things you can do with technology. I think a lot of people are confused about what they can achieve and what they can't achieve. And so doing an ROI based model is a great way for people to leverage you to see what you can do and realize the benefits on the back end.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure that within 3 to 4 years, the terminology of offshoring this work will go off for sure. I'm assuming it will go off in next 1 year or so. Very quickly, this is coming because everybody wants to see the value. The value is more important than, oh, I have fun, 10 people. It's not equal anymore here. I have 100 people working. It's not the way case here. So people want to see the value. How much are you bringing? And because the AI and machine learning came into existing since the last couple of years, people want to reach that opportunity and see how much this AI can do to reduce their burden and go to market quickly, efficiently, and obviously help all of us. Because AI is a way to go forward, and that is how the things has to be modularized internally as well, so that the customer can also see the value.
So it sounds like you've got quite a team. You're not doing just AI based on LLM, large language models, but you're also doing machine learning, driving value for your customers with machine learning. Talk about a machine learning use case. Everybody talks about LLMs and what they're doing, but talk about a machine learning use case that was particularly interesting that your company did recently.
Definitely. See, machine learning is hand in hand with AI and machine learning. So there is no such thing called I'm only using
Right.
AI and I'm only, but I'm just giving a little bit of clarification.
No, absolutely.
See, we have created a lot of pattern-based, what you call modulars, where if you want to identify fraudulent activity from any of those transactions, for instance, we have a model developed so that the model will identify patterns. This is a highlight saying there is a change in the pattern. Obviously, information is going received or some transaction is happening. The pattern will be highlighted based on the LM versions. So AI will pick up those kind of patterns, how many patterns has been done from last 3 months, or whether this is going to happen in the future. So all of those things can be validated from ML. So for example, if there is I give a classic example of there is a online transaction that happens on a regular basis, and you know which customer you're paying and when you're paying, how kind of a vendor it is. But if you're paying it abruptly, then obviously the pattern will kick off and say, hey, I saw some of those, patterns which are not being properly utilized in the past. So is it something you need to verify? You need to go to a sort of a manager or a gatekeeper to just to validate this is right thing or not. Once they validate this is a pattern, then it will go and does its job. So I I give an example of online pattern that could be the sales pattern, that could be our HR pattern, that could be number of people are taking leaves on abruptly, when are they taking the leaves, and what is the reason they're taking leaves on a specific period of a time, so that the HR can manage their workforce according to their leaves. I'm giving a classic example, but it could be hundreds of fraudulent activities that happen. So one of the biggest challenge, what I feel, and what of most of the customer came to is the emails which come to them, which is a lot of fraudulent emails where people say that, okay, change my account or change my bank statement or change my, account number, for instance. So that's a very classic one. So people, sometimes you just go with a pattern and say, oh yeah, this is come from a vendor, validated, which is good. But in return, if you look at it, they will probably change the small word or, comma or a full stop in the email. And that is something that you cannot identify with your eyes. Patterns will identify those and highlight to the gatekeeper saying that, okay, I saw an email came from the same window, but email is entirely different. What is your action to take? So Again, I'm just giving you one or two examples, but we have around 10 to 15 patent ML modules that we have developed that can be used in banking, financial sector, or be a pharma industry.
Excellent. Excellent. So, innovation is something that's, I think goes hand in hand with AI, but I think innovation is much more than that. It's a way of thinking, a way of being, a way of running your company. Talk to me about your philosophy of innovation.
See, innovation is, which is a good question basically, but innovation is something has to come from top notch, not from the end user standpoint or a middle management. The people who are living, or, running the organization from top, they have to think what is the next 3, 4 years or 5 years of their future. And the innovation has to go, has to have a gloves in hand with the team, the senior manager, the internal systems, and as well as their goal to the next level. So basically, my suggestion to entrepreneurs is that if you're running an organization, it's always good to have a right partner who can able to understand your challenge from the business standpoint. And you need to have a dedicated resource or a team to do experiments. You might fail one of those instances, but the failure is not something that you cannot avoid. Yes, there are some failed things, but if you stop innovating things, you'll left behind and you will feel that, okay, I have done a lot of things, but I never get any success. But honestly speaking, whoever is innovated a lot of good things with a partner or without partner, they have gone to the next level. If you don't innovate in innovation, if you're not innovating anything or you're not putting a specific amount of money as a budget for the innovation, I'm pretty sure that you're losing 30 to 40% of your overall capacity or whatever term that you want to put. You will be reducing that. So to answer your question, it is very important, but it has to come from top bottom, not bottom up. Because guys from the underuse, the people from the low level, they don't want to know, they don't want to see any changes because they are very happy what they're happening, all the things are happening. But if the top management is not innovating or not investing any money on that, it's not going to work. Yeah, that is my suggestion to a lot of these entrepreneurs. If you want to grow fast, and you need to invest in a certain amount of money to innovate and find new ways to serve your customers, and you need to have a right partner. So,
I'm hearing that more and more from leaders in software companies that innovation has to come from the top. It's fascinating to hear that theme coming over and over again. Being part of startups for a number of years, you get a lot of sort of grassroots innovation that oftentimes is sometimes you get some interesting things, but a lot of times you get a lot of churn and noise in the organization that can be very challenging. With things happening as
exactly.
quickly as they are in technology, leadership in that area is more important than ever to keep the company on track and make sure
Exactly.
you're driving the most value for your customers.
Exactly. I give you a classic example. I heard one of those articles. AWS has failed thousands of products.
Oh, yeah.
And there are only one product which is writing right now, which is AWS 7. Of course, they have hundreds of products in the market, but they have filled thousands of them. So yeah, if they wouldn't have innovated whatever we talk about AWS service now, we wouldn't have seen the changes that is happening right now. The fast innovation happening at this moment, and machine learning, all those things. If AWS, Google, or Microsoft wouldn't have invented this particular cloud infrastructure or DevOps, we wouldn't have seen this kind of a progress even for next 10 to 15 years. Let's see. So this is a classic example. AWS has done a lot of work. They failed a lot of instances, but they have got one or two instances successfully done. And here we're talking about a new industry altogether, which is yeah.
Excellent. As you look over the last 6 to 12 months, what achievement or innovation would you say you're the most proud of that your team has put forward?
Yeah, the good thing is, or probably last 6 months, I would say that, yeah, this the kind of idea that we have in last couple of years, but very recently we launched a GCC 2.0, which is very innovative in our own sense. This is global capacity center with the pods. And prior to this, most of GCC centers were running as a capital centers where big organizations across the globe used to come and invest the money in specific countries and say, and this is our development centers. But they are just serving the capacity of their internal development. There is no innovation has been done. They didn't innovate any new things, just serving existing applications, processes, and customers. Only 5% of these GCC centers have done some innovations. If you look at the records, if you look at the data, 5%, which we are talking about 95% of the companies are predominantly serving the existing application. So It's a huge gap. And 95% of the organizations, they're not innovating at all. It's a significant gap in the market. That is what we have
Wow.
identified. And we have created a GCC 2.0 as service, which is innovation as a service, or you call it as, product as service or whatever. It's like a SaaS based. The customer can come with a paper, piece of paper and say, this is our challenge. This is our problem. Can you identify the problem, or can you identify the tools and technologies to evolve from the existing product to the next level? We had a very successful story with one of the very large, financial institute, and they came back with a very bare shell saying that, okay, we have an existing application, but it is not serving our customers. And when they came to us, they have approximately around 4 to 5 customers. Now they have hundreds of customers because we ripped everything off and we created from the scratch. At the same time, we added a lot of value by bringing new technologies and services, new technologies and process on top of it. That's a very good successful story. In fact, that is exactly what got us to the stage we're in ground reality now. So even here, I'm very proud of GCC 2.0, which is obviously going to reduce 32% or 40% of your innovation money that you're investing, or GCC money that you're investing on anywhere else. And it's a great opportunity for you to look at the other partners like us to see what are we bringing on as a value and how much you can reduce your investment or time with your current GCC service.
Excellent. No, that's an amazing innovation. It's fascinating too. It seems like a space not a lot of people are going into, but it's a big opportunity to help a lot of companies.
So, I mean, you look at startups, or if we're talking about established ones, if you're burning your own cash, if I have VCs back in Japan say, hey, I want this product to go live in next 12 months, you're investing a lot of your time, efforts, and bringing expertise across the globe and putting everything together. I agree with you. That's the reason you have VCs. But that's not going to solve the problem. You need to have an expertise. You need to have some sort of a degree of, expertise that will bring the value to you. At the same time, reduce the cost, and so that you can see the MVP going faster. So when you have MVP in place, you will get more and more customers, and you will get more and more VCs to join your journey. And this is my suggestion to a lot of VC-backed companies. You have to look at what is happening in the real world. Your idea must be great, but if you are not investing with the right team and the right technology, it is going to fall flat on your face, and then you will regret it forever.
How do you see as technology evolves, obviously the skill set your teams need evolves. So every team has their superpowers now. How are you training your teams to be superheroes in the future as skills and the requirements for executing projects changes?
Exactly what I mentioned to you. Basically, we do have a platform, training platform, and we do have as a innovation lab. The innovation lab is a great way to learn new things that you're doing. And we do have existing resources, as well as we train the young generation, young resources to be on these new technologies called AI and machine learning. And our lab facility is where we ask them to put their hands down and see what they can do, how they can. And some of those instances, we went to our customers and said, hey, this is the challenge that you probably might have in this current situation. Why don't you use our innovation? And they said, oh, this is good. Let's use it. Some of those instances, they said that we are too early to use it because either they are not utilizing it properly or they might have some challenges in the current scenario. But our innovation lab is a great way to unwind some of your challenges. And you can say, hey, I'd like to see what you guys are thinking in your own style. What exactly are you thinking? How are you thinking? I'm not saying that every time you are successful. Sometimes we might have gone to the customer and say, this is what we are doing. But that's you need to test the waters. You need to always try and do what is best and what is good for your organization. So that's exactly what we are doing in current scene.
Excellent. So being in a multinational company that's serving customers all over the world, how do you think about and approach the regulatory changes around AI that may be coming or starting to bubble up?
So basically, we do have to take care of the data. The data is very important activities. We are also regulated by pharma industries. And so we'll keep all those regulators in place, but we are not directly reporting to any regulators because we are not the end consumers of any of those data. So whatever the customer has, either the customer saying that I want HIPAA compliance or ISO 27001 compliance. So all those compliances will take care of it. We have a different team altogether who's taking care of all our regulatories. And if we bring them as part of our team, do any of those activities. So to answer your question, we have a specialized team who will taking care of all our HIPAA compliance and so on so compliance to just keep things up. But as a company, we don't have direct reporting to regulators to validate our activities. To answer your question, yes, we do have a team. Yes, the customer, and between Avenir and the customer, we will have a combination of both the teams together, and we'll try to tick mark all those compliances which need to be taken care of, and we will definitely take care of things.
Yeah, it's a constant thing with the
Yeah,
regulations.
it's a constant thing. Exactly.
Well, Suresh, thank you for joining me today. It's been great to talk to you and learn more about your company. Tell us where we can find you, website, anywhere else,
Yeah,
podcast, anything you've
yeah,
got.
we have a website called avenirdigital.ai, and we have a LinkedIn page on avenirdigital.inc. We are there in all those platforms. You can able to reach out to us. And yeah, we are there to support you if you are finding any challenges in your current situation. You can always reach out to us. And we are not a new, and we are not a big name as such, but at the same time, we are not a new, and we know what we are doing, and we definitely find a solution for your challenges that you're in current situation. We have hundreds of testimonials of customers we can able to watch us our in terms of our work that we have done. So yeah, all good some things are in place, and we are looking forward to a bright future next.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks.